Well, it's lovely working with Kate on this because basically we're doing the same sort of work. Kate is writing about her mother's war and I'm writing about my father's war.
We've put through over 4,000 casualties already, they say. It's like a factory line. We approached Circa with the idea that we could do this as a double bill and they were delighted. I think it's a really interesting combo, the woman's story and the man's story.
We'd had our guts full of going into battle without tank support. Thank Christ, Tiny Freiberg put his foot down and demanded we have our own tank corps. Yeah, you're right there, Jeff. My father, Geoffrey, he served in the New Zealand 2nd Expeditionary Force during the Second World War and he had a rather extraordinary time of it. He got captured in North Africa and was in a POW camp in northern Italy. But he jumped off the train when he was being taken through to Germany and he lived in a cave in the hills in Italy for 2 years.
I say, Phyllis, I hear that tomorrow we're going to get hospital beds. Oh, that'll certainly help my knees crawling between the patients. My mother was a nurse. She was with the first hospital that arrived in Normandy after D-Day, and then she followed the battlefront through Europe. And when the war had ended, she was tapped on the shoulder and said, "You're going to go and help liberate a prison camp," which ended up being Belsen.
Now, Kittenberger, he was a true soldier. Always put our safety before his own. Yeah, brave bugger. I'm doing this play to honour my father's generation, but also to honour the bravery of the ordinary Italian people who stepped up and helped people like my father to survive. I think we have a duty to share these stories.
Do you know what they're doing? They've got the Red Cross ladies back home sewing little drawstring Dorothy bags. So we just pop the false teeth in the bag and tie it to the men's buttons. That way they won't lose them. My mother finding the courage to speak up to her mother about marrying a Catholic was a similar courage to her having to crawl on her hands and knees on the floor of a hospital tent to try and stop the flow of blood from a dying 17-year-old.
I'd love to think that my contemporaries will come and see this play, but also younger people who don't know actually very much about the Second World War, I think would find great interest in both these stories.